Welcome back inside the huddle. Today we have a very special guest, a volleyball standout, Natalie Mitchem. Natalie, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, and congrats are in order as you have accomplished your 1,000th kill. Join that club, as well as being Primark Construction's Student Athlete of the Week. How do you feel about that?
I feel happy. I'm just like, I've been working to be more consistent throughout the season. I feel like now I've finally figured it out, and I've hit some milestones, 1,000 kills, I guess Student Athlete of the Week. It's like affirmations that I'm actually, the work I'm putting in is paying off.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about how that was kind of a goal, not really, it just kind of came about, you know, and you played it by ear. Tell me about that.
Well, when it came to 1,000 kills, I was just like randomly looking at stats on the website or whatever, because like it's just interesting to look at, you know. So I was looking and I was like, wait, I have like 920 kills right now, like, and the season's like halfway done, how many more is that? So it's like 70, whatever. And I like took the average and like it's like so many kills, and then my parents saw it too, and they're like, you know how close you were to 1,000 kills, right? And I was like, yeah, I noticed like a few days ago. It was like that, had not expected that at all. So then after that, it just became like a countdown to like 1,000 kills. It's like, oh, 20 left, 13 left. You only get this many kills in this game, and it was just a really fun thing to do with my parents. And then when it actually happened, my dad like made posters and everything. It was just really fun. It was a really good moment for me.
What were your emotions during that, like right after you figured out, okay, I just did it? What was going through your head?
I was just very happy. Like I was like, ugh, I did it. I reached that milestone. We've been waiting for this to happen for a while, and it's finally here, and it was just a really cool thing to feel.
Yeah, you come from a really unique family situation where your dad played basketball at DePaul, mom basketball at Lewis, brother at Lewis also playing volleyball. How was that, you know, growing up in such a sports-centered household?
Honestly, it wasn't really like much pressure. Like I got into volleyball all on my own. My parents were like, oh, okay, sure. Like I was like, I'm gonna try out for the volleyball team in 6th grade, and they were like, okay, go for it. And then I just kept playing, and they've been supporting me all through along the way. My brother's a little different. They've been playing like multiple sports, like all of them have, and they've been put into like football, baseball, like everything. But with me, since I'm the only girl and the youngest, they kind of just let me do what I wanted to do. And they honestly didn't expect me to be an athlete. Like they didn't think I was gonna be into sports because I was like all into pink and girly girl, and so they're like, hey, if you want to do volleyball, go ahead. So
once you decided to pursue volleyball, who was like the coach? Was dad more the like, okay, Natalie, we're gonna do this, you gotta do this, or was it mom who was more the pusher, the motivator?
Honestly, it was neither. I think the motivators were my actual coaches from like middle school. And she, her name was Molly DeSurf. She's been my coach since 6th grade, and she's actually coming to my last home game on Wednesday. And she's been my coach also in high school, and she's the one that actually pushed me to like do club, and she's actually probably the reason that I'm at Ball State right now. So I'd say it was more of her, because my parents, like I said, they just kind of let me do what I wanted to do. They were just like, go ahead, like whatever you want to do it. But she was the one that like I feel like guided me to get to where I am.
Figuring out, you know, that you were going to play and everything. Was there ever an opportunity or a thought in your head, do I want to play volleyball or should I try basketball because my parents did it? Or was it just, like you said, do whatever because you're the girl?
Actually, I was like super close to playing basketball in middle school in like 7th grade, because the coach, I was 5'10" in middle school. Like I was towering over everybody. So like he wanted me on the team. But I was really close to doing it, so I was like, why not? But then I got into club, and I just didn't have the time for it, so I ended up not doing it.
You mentioned your coach that has supported you throughout your entire career. What was Friday night like for you, having senior night, you know, just celebrating all of those festivities? Who all did you have in attendance as far as family-wise?
I had my parents, my grandma, my brother Kevin, and then his girlfriend, and then my brother's fiance. But my brother's brother that has a fiance couldn't come because he had other responsibilities, but she came as well.
Yeah, so that was super special. We saw the picture of you guys at the end of the game with your jerseys. How much has being a senior really impacted this season for you personally?
It's been fun. It's been bittersweet in a way. Like, oh, this is the last I'm doing this, last I'm doing that. But it's been fun being like the leader, being the senior of the team. Because like, I don't know, in my years past, the senior was like the leader, the one that's like leading the way. And like now that I'm in that position, it's been really fun. But it's also just sad because I'm like, oh, it's my last year here. So, but yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sure like the memories that you've made since freshman year, that all has a big to do in what you're gonna do afterwards. But I want to take a little detour and talk about your major. I want you to just tell people what you were majoring in.
I am a double major in pre-med and psychology. So.
And you're a student athlete.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what do you want to do with your double major after?
Well, I was gonna go to medical school and pursue child psychiatry, but I didn't really want to do that anymore. So now I'm just gonna major in psychology. Probably use my 5th year to like get a scholarship for one of those years, and then finish out school, and then probably do something in clinical psychology, something like a little step down from child psychiatry, but somewhere in that area still.
So helping people is something that you really want to do after.
Yeah.
That's so fitting for you.
Thank you.
That's so fitting. So going back to being a freshman, being an underclassman at the time, how much have you learned in the 4 years that you've been at Ball State? Whether it be student athlete or just, deciding what you're going to major in, how much have you evolved since freshman year?
I feel like I've evolved a lot with like responsibilities and just time management. Obviously, I did have time management before because club was, you had to have time management, but college was just like a whole different ball game. But I feel like just knowing that I have to get stuff done on time and just like be on top of things, like I feel like that is something I've learned. And honestly, not stressing out too much. When you stress out too much, that just is worse than good. So I feel like I've also learned to just chill out a little bit more and just like, but sometimes it's funny because it stresses my teammates out a little bit. So they're like, Mitch, it's not that, not serious. Like, it's a little more serious than that. But I'm like, it's fine. Like, don't stress about it. But that's something I feel like I've learned in my 4 years here.
You mentioned your teammates. So how do you think they would describe you if we were to go ask them, what's Natalie like, other than reserved and kind of too calm?
Definitely that, and probably like goofy, just kind of weird a little bit. I just have, I feel like, a big personality with my teammates, and I feel like they accept that, which is really nice. And I feel like that's something they would describe me as goofy and outgoing. Yeah.
In the locker room, when you're in those tight moments and the game might not be going your way or how you guys want it to go, what is your approach and how do you impact the locker room?
I mainly try to keep my composure, not try to get in my head, because that's like the worst thing you can do for you and your teammates is get in your head. So I try to very much just like stay level-headed, and like if I'm not playing well, just like accept that, but try to do better, but don't make it worse in a way. And like if like nothing's working, just like keep a positive attitude, because that's what your teammates need the most, is you to be positive and to help them rather than you just focusing on yourself. So in those tough moments, I really just try to lean more on my teammates and try to help them more than I help myself.
If it's everything that you've talked about so far, as far as if there was a theme that you had like for your life, it could be a phrase, a quote, even just a single word, and that you tried to live by, what do you think it would be for you?
I don't know. Maybe just trust that everything will be okay in the end, and that you don't need to worry because God's got your back, and that's probably what I live by.
I love that. That's really good.
Thank you.
So
Thank
much.
you.
This was a blast. I mean, we learned so much about you. I think most of us in here are kind of like, whoa, this girl is amazing. But
thank you.
Thank you so much. Good luck on the rest of the season.
Thank you so much.
We really appreciate you being here. We'll be watching and rooting for you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
And that's a wrap for this episode. Thanks to our guest, Natalie Mitchem. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys inside the huddle.